In this video, we will discuss about Pythagoras theorem as it works only for right angle triangles. This theorem is very important in geometry in most of the classes. So, first thing about this theorem is this is related to a triangle. Then, especially, it works only for right angle triangle. It doesn't work for any other triangle. It should be a right angle triangle, means the triangle which has an angle equal to 90 degree. So we will know about what is the right angle triangle, then how Pythagoras theorem works for it, and few examples are there. Alright, so let's continue. On the screen you can see a triangle. This is a right angle triangle as it has a right angle, that is 90 degree. Which right angle? Here it is. Okay, so this angle is right angle. Actually a right angle is denoted by a small square. Okay, it means we don't need to write explicitly that it is a 90 degree. It just means the small square says it is 90 degree. Alright, the length of the sides of this triangle are A, B and C, as you can see. Here A and B are the lengths of the sides and C is the hypotenuse. Now what is the hypotenuse? Students, hypotenuse is the side just opposite to the right angle. Okay, in this diagram this is a right angle and this is the side opposite to the right angle, and that is called hypotenuse. So remember, in a right angle triangle the side opposite to right angle is called hypotenuse. Okay, and rest of the sides are just called the sides or legs. Sometimes we use legs, two legs which include the right angle. So now what is the Pythagoras theorem actually? So there is a statement, the longest side of the triangle is called the hypotenuse. Alright, now the formal definition is, in a right angle triangle the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Okay, now as in the previous diagram you have seen there are three sides. Okay, A, B and C. According to the theorem, it is said that the square of the hypotenuse, it means that is C square, because hypotenuse is C, is equal to C square is equal to the sum of the square of the remaining two sides. The sum of the square of remaining two sides. It means C square equals A square plus B square. Okay, this is the mathematical expression of Pythagoras theorem, and here it is given that A square plus B square is C square. It doesn't matter that whatever is on the left hand side or the right hand side. Okay, so you can write it as C square equals A square plus B square, or A square plus B square equals C square. Okay, this concept can be used to find the length of the sides in a right angle triangle. Okay, now see the picture. Here few a triangle and few squares are drawn with different colors. Now we check the areas of these squares as they are drawn on the sides of a triangle. So three sides are there. It is a right angle triangle. The sides are 3, 4 and 5. Okay, a yellow colored square is made or is constructed over the side, that is 3 units. So the area of the square is 9. Obviously because the area is side square, so 3 square is 9. Below it is a blue colored square because it is constructed over the side, that is 4. So the area is 4 4 is 16. And finally the red colored square whose area is 25 because it is constructed over this side. Okay, this one, that is the hypotenuse. Now as you can see that this 9 plus 16 is 25. Okay, 9 plus 16 is 25. So this is the geometrical representation of Pythagoras theorem as written here. 3 square plus 4 square equals 5 square and 9 plus 16 is 25. So this is the explanation of Pythagoras theorem. Now, why this is useful? Okay, is there any use of the Pythagoras theorem? The use is, if we know the lengths of two sides of a triangle, then we can find the length of third side. So the third side can be the hypotenuse or any other side of the triangle. Okay, for example, this is a triangle. Okay, if you know this side and want to calculate the hypotenuse, so you can do this by using Pythagoras theorem. Or maybe in a triangle you know the length of hypotenuse and for this side, then you can calculate the length of this side also. So it can be used to find the length of any side in a right angled triangle. Okay, now take few examples one by one. In this triangle, the length of the sides are given. One is 6 unit, other is 8 unit, and we want to find the length of hypotenuse. So we write the theorem, that is x square equals 6 square plus 8 square. Okay, remember always that when you are adding the sides, means there is a plus sign in Pythagoras theorem, then add both the sides except the hypotenuse, because hypotenuse is the biggest side and it will be alone on the left hand side, no other term should be there. Okay, so next step, x square equals 36 plus 64, that is 100, and finally x is equal to square root of 100, that is 10. It means x is 10, either it is a centimeter or you can write 10 units, because we are not considering the units, no centimeter, no meters, just it is the unit. So x equals 10 units. Okay, in this way we will find the length of sides. Next, again here the hypotenuse is given as 5, one side is 4, and find the length of remaining side. So we'll write as x square plus 4 square equals 5 square. You can see that on the right hand side, that is 5 square. I told you that the value of the hypotenuse will be not there with any other value, because it is the highest, that is the longest side. So we will add the remaining two sides. Now this is x square plus 16 is 25. Finally, by transposing the terms, we have x square is 9 and x will be the square root of 9, that is 3. So we can say x is equal to 3. Alright. Now you can remember it easily that 3, 4 and 5 are the sides of a right angle triangle. Okay. Next is, does an 8, 15 and 16 triangle have a right angle? Now it is a different kind of example, that if a triangle has the sides of length 8, 15 and 16, so is it possible that this triangle is a right angle triangle, or these are the lengths of the sides? So just we will check it out. As you can see, the longest side is 16. Okay, so we will put this value on the right hand side. Okay, and it will be alone. Now find the remaining, the sum of the square of remaining sides. So 8 square plus 15 square we will find, that is 64 plus 225, that is 289, and find the square of 16, that is the longest side, that is 256. But both these values are not equal, so it does not have a right angle, means the triangle is there, maybe you can construct a triangle, but it is not a right angle triangle, means there is not a right angle in that triangle. Next, Pythagorean triplets. Okay, what are the Pythagorean triplets? Actually, if given values satisfy the Pythagoras theorem, or they satisfy the relation, that is a square plus b square equals c square, then they are called Pythagorean triplet. Okay, as you have seen in the previous examples, sometimes the relation, this relation can be satisfied, sometimes not. So whenever this relation, you can say the equation, okay. If this equation is satisfied with the values given, then they are called Pythagorean triplet. If they do not satisfy this relation, a square plus b square equals c square, then these values are not the Pythagorean triplet. Here triplet means a set of three values, okay. See, check for Pythagorean triplet. If we want to check for these triplets, okay, this is first triplet, this is second, this is third. So how we'll check? We will use the formula, that is a square plus b square equals c square. We put the values here, okay, and by substituting the values, if we can prove that LHS equals RHS, then we can say these are the Pythagorean triplet. If they do not satisfy, we say these are not the Pythagorean triplet, okay. So for one of them we are going to prove, as we are taking 2, 3 and 4, okay. Second one, this second one triplet, okay, inside the circle 2, 3 and 4. As you can see, 4 is the longest side, so we write 4 square, that is 16. Remaining two sides are 2 and 3, so we do 2 square plus 3 square, that is 4 plus 9, and that is 13. Now see the values carefully, 13 and 16. On the left hand side we have 13, and on right hand side we have 16. Both are not equal. Here both are not equal. It means not a Pythagorean triplet. Again we can say these values are not the sides of a right angle triangle. Never, okay. In this manner you can check for the given triplet that if it is a Pythagorean triplet or not. Now I think few points should be revised again, so go through the video again, okay. Here, what is the mathematical expression of Pythagorean triplet? As it can be used in only a right angle triangle, okay. You should memorize this. It can be used in only right angle triangle. Suppose we have a triangle like this, it is not a right angle triangle, so we can't use Pythagoras theorem, okay. So first thing is that it must be a right angle triangle. Then we must know what is the hypotenuse, okay. You can't consider any side as a hypotenuse, so the hypotenuse is the side opposite to right triangle. Sometimes you may have a triangle in this way and the right angle is there. Now what is the, which is the hypotenuse? So the side opposite to right angle, okay. As you can see, this is the side opposite to right angle, so this side is called the hypotenuse. Now the statement of Pythagoras theorem, you should remember this. It is, in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Now other two sides can be written in any order. As on the left hand side it can be written as b square plus a square, doesn't matter, but on the right hand side there must be only c square, okay. Now this is the main form of the Pythagoras theorem, but if you want to find the length of any other side, then you can change this equation. As in the case of linear equations, we are finding the value of unknown variable. In similar way, we will modify this equation and will solve it for the given value, okay. Here is another geometrical representation of Pythagoras theorem. Now what is that actually? Let me explain it again. Suppose we have a triangle, okay. See the figure which I am drawing here. Now on each sides we want to draw the squares, so on the red line that is horizontal I have made a square like this. On the side that is vertical I have drawn a square like this, and on the hypotenuse I am drawing a square like this, similar to the figure given, but I have drawn for your convenience so that you can understand it better. As you can see, we have three squares now. So square means the area of a square is actually side multiplied by side, and we are doing this in the Pythagoras theorem, like 3 square, 4 square, 7 square. So square means we are constructing a square over that side. Now see the figure, this one, the square which is made with a side 4 units, the area of this is 16. The square constructed with the side 3, the area is 9. The square constructed with the hypotenuse 5, that is 25. As you can see, again 9 plus 16 is 25. So we have proved the Pythagoras theorem for this triangle, and for other triangles we can prove in the same way. Okay, why is this useful? Means why we use Pythagoras theorem? Actually, if two sides are given, any two sides are given in a right angle triangle, then we can find the length of remaining third side. Okay, that's why we use Pythagoras theorem. It doesn't matter which side you are going to find out, it may be the hypotenuse or the remaining two sides. Again, to use Pythagoras theorem in a proper way, see, we want to find x, so we write the Pythagoras theorem first, write the main form of the Pythagoras theorem, then you can modify it. So we write x square equals 6 square plus 8 square, it is 36 plus 4, 100, and the square root of 100 is 10. Actually, in this step we have x square plus 100, and by taking square root on both sides, so the square root of x square is x, means the x square is connoted as x because we are taking square root on both sides, and square root of 10, that 100 is 10, so we have x equals 10. It means this side has a length of 10 units. Next is, again here we will not find the length of hypotenuse, we are finding the length of side. So we'll write again the main form of Pythagoras theorem, as it is x square plus 4 square is 5 square, then we have x square is 25 minus 16. Okay, because we have transposed the 16 to the left hand side, right hand side, from left to right. Now we have x square is 9. Again take square root on both sides, so square root of x square is x, and for 9 is 3. It means this x is 3 units. All right, see, sometimes the given sides are not the sides of a right angle triangle, even they may be the sides of a normal triangle but not for a right triangle. Now how to check this? You have to consider the highest value. Okay, 15 and 16, which is the highest value? 16. All right, find the square of 16, it is 256. Then find the sum of the squares of remaining values, as it is 29. You can see both these are not equal, so we can say these sides are not the sides of right triangle. Okay, again, if given values satisfy the Pythagoras theorem, they are called Pythagorean triplet. This is the important topic of this video. Now to check the Pythagorean triplet, again you have to consider the highest value, because the Pythagoras theorem says that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of remaining side. So think about the highest value first. Okay, for this question we have checked for the value 2, 3 and 4. Now I solve for your convenience first part. Okay, so see how the first part can be solved. See the highest value from this triplet, that is 13. Okay, now we find the square of remaining two values. So on the right hand side, do square of 13. Okay, in this way 13, and it is 169. Then remaining values are 5 and 12. So what is the square of 5? it is 25. What is the square of 12? That is 144. Now try to add both of these. 5 plus 4 9 and 14 plus 2 16. Now if you can see both the values are equal, 169 equals 169. It means these values are the Pythagorean triplet. Means it is possible to draw a right triangle whose sides are 5, 12 and 13 units. Okay students, so I explained most of the things about Pythagoras theorem and the triplets and hope you got it. Okay, see the video again and solve the questions. All right, have a nice day.